Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin continues to be moving sideways. It played out perfectly yesterday here in that it came down a little lower, broke briefly that triangle trend line, but as you might remember from what I said yesterday, trend lines are not that important in Elliott Wave triangles. We're looking at this as an Elliott Wave triangle, possibly. Basically, there are two options. As long as we stay below the pivot point, which is 27,700. We either deal here with an Elliott Wave triangle, which is basically that wave 4 never finished. Wave 4 would sit here where the E wave ends. And it unfolds as an A wave, a B wave, a C wave, a D wave. And then if we get now one more lower high, we could break down. And this is sort of my preferred option. It looks clean, it looks okay, it looks understandable. Doesn't mean it has to work out. Okay, it doesn't mean it has to, but just be aware of the relevant invalidation points when you deal with such a triangle. So in this triangle, price in this E wave must not go above the C wave high, which is at 27,000, basically 290. If it does, the triangle could simply extend, but it will be invalidated above 27,700, which is why I say as long as we stay below that level, this triangle is a valid interpretation. We might have to move the subwaves a bit, but it's a valid interpretation. The other option is still this ending diagonal, which is also okay. It's just very messy. Would be a wave 1 down, a wave 2 up, a wave 3 in the making at the moment, and a wave 4 up and a wave 5 down to come. Possibly to around 25.3k. Basically, both scenarios would lead to the same result or similar results further downside. And both are valid, and both are going to be in the focus below 27,700. They're both in similar. They're both just similar subwave counts, right? And it's just two scenarios. So, and they both point in the same direction. But just be aware that the pivot point here is 27,700, because above that level, other scenarios will come into play, because these two will have been invalidated. And I'm not even telling you that it's very unlikely to break above 27,700. It's actually quite likely. Yeah, probabilities are fairly balanced at this stage, because a triangle, for example, represents a balance of forces. So Elliott Wave allows us to understand that it should break down, but it doesn't mean it will. We are in a market of uncertainties. You can never know all the influential factors. You can never know all the aspects that influence the market. But we can understand the pivot points, and the rules of market structure, and they tell us that above 27,700, other scenarios come into play. It could still be a triangle, but it could just simply be counted the other way around. So, for example, let's say we get this wave 4, which would be a higher wave 4, which means wave 4 never finished, but it will make another high in 3 waves. What could simply be the case is that the move up of the 12th of May low was a wave W in 3 waves. This here is now, a triangle as an X wave. A, B, C, D, E. Could be a wave X. And then we could get 3 waves up in a Y wave. And that could form a higher wave 4. And we could then come down. So at the moment, that just tells you that you need to expect headwinds when you try to trade this, that maybe you shouldn't trade every single subwave, because we have no clear direction. Just be aware of high leverage. Maybe don't risk too much. Elliott Wave tells us very clearly that we are in a corrective structure here, which is not a very clear trend. So it's not easy, it's not impulsive. Ideally, we always looking for the impulsive price movements. Of course, you can trade corrections. Just be aware there are more headwinds. It's more challenging. It's more difficult. A lot of new traders will be caught out if they try to trade corrections, because up and down, up and down, up and down. It just confuses. It just will lead to a lot of stops being triggered and so on. So we need clarity, and clarity we can get if we either break down. What are the breakout points to the downside? Confirmation that the triangle is breaking into the expected direction is a break below 26,370, the B wave low, or if price goes higher, then we have 27,700 as an invalidation point. Then we know we need to look at higher, but possibly still in a correction and still the same higher level scenario that we are currently in a wave 2. It might just do something like that. Okay, might just go a little higher. So, but we know that above 27,700, as long as we stay below that level, price can do literally anything here sideways and can use the space, but we can still live with these two scenarios, the triangle or the ending diagonal. If we break above that level, it unlocks different scenarios. Yeah, basically we open the door to 2 or 3 more scenarios. One would be the high wave 4. One would be a B wave, which would be a bit stronger. In both scenarios, we would sell off further. But if we get 5 waves up instead of 3, 5 up, not like that, should be like that, then this would be potentially bullish. And we could look at a 3-wave pullback, and then we can count that as wave 1 to the upside, this as wave 2 to the downside, forming a higher low. We have another long trade setup and could trade the 3rd wave to the upside. But this would be a leading diagonal. They are unreliable and need to prove themselves. How do they do that? They do that by forming 5 waves up, 3 waves down, hold support. And that could be another potential turning point there. Yeah. But until that happens, the bullish potential is just a possibly bullish potential that we purely track and observe, nothing that we would focus on mainly. And the reason for that is that the rally of the Friday low, the 12th of May low, was just corrective. And because that rally was just corrective, and it's not impulsive, we can't put a lot of emphasis on the bullish case here. Overall, yes, because the idea is that we will start in a 3rd wave at some point. But it's just that the subwave structure does not really give us a clear indication that this is what's starting. So at the moment, the trend is our friend, yeah, and we focus further on the downside until the trend changes. Then we have to adjust. Okay, that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.